Welcome to Power in the Hours Part 5. Today we are talking all about how to schedule your week. So once you've implemented steps 1 through 4, it should be relatively easy to schedule your week, right? The big thing is to do it in advance, not on the fly. So I personally like to take my end of day Friday activity to schedule to review my following week. I know a lot of people like to do this on Sunday evenings. Find what works for you and make it happen. So start with any meetings that you have scheduled, the things that you cannot move time-wise, and then layer on those top priority items you identified in part 4. Now, while you're scheduling, keep in mind that the average person gets interrupted 50 to 60 times a day, and it takes us several minutes to get back on track. This means that every time you get interrupted, whether it's by someone else or yourself interrupting yourself, you're losing time throughout your week. So keep that in mind when scheduling. We always think that we can do more than we actually can. 100% of my clients believe, at least when we first started working together, that they could get way more done in 1 hour than they actually could. So schedule your week at 75%. This means that if you allocate 30 hours of work per week, you actually only book yourself for 22 hours. That extra time will allow for those interruptions that inevitably happen, as well as any major fires that pop up throughout the week, those phone calls you weren't expecting, the kids are sick, whatever that is. That buffer will allow for those unexpected activities. It is so incredibly easy to overschedule yourself, but I will tell you what happens is that at the end of the week, you're going to not have all your work complete. And gosh, how deflating is that to end the week kind of on a low? I prefer to do the opposite. So when you make sure you're scheduling your high priority activities and you only schedule yourself 75% of the time to leave that buffer for the unexpected, you should end up at the end of the week completing everything you had planned. Now, great, if things are faster than you expected and you have some extra time, work into the next week. Pause and look at your next week and see if there's some little tiny task you can take off your plate today that will make next week easier. Now to the specifics of what to schedule on certain days. So if you need to be creative for certain tasks, let's say because it's your job to be creative, or if you're thinking about writing content, those creativity pieces of work, make sure you schedule yourself time to do them on days where you actually feel creative. I know if you evaluate your week, there's going to be times of the day and maybe days of the week that you're just more inspired and you can get into the flow a little faster on those activities. Give yourself that time to be creative, and then schedule all the admin type tasks or the stuff that doesn't quite need as much creativity and mindset on days where you're not as inspired. Thursdays and Fridays are just slow. You just don't get as much done as fast no matter how you try. Then front load your week. Bump up all those tasks that are going to take a lot of energy, take a lot of pull on your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Or if it's the opposite, if you require a little ease into your week, make sure you load up those middle days of the week, those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to make sure that you get those things done when the best time is to complete them. I'd love to hear what your ideal work week actually looks like and if you are scheduling yourself to achieve it. We'll see you back here for part 6 next week.